And I think that's a great analogy, that you've now put yourself in a position where you've got an amount of cash and you want to work out, okay, where am I going to put it? But all of this sort of fits within some sort of cash flow strategy that we're all operating in the background. And we can see on the screen here that there is a couple different boxes. And so ultimately, this is looking at sort of a typical mortgage holder and the type of cash flow strategy or sort of structure that they might actually have. Now, 30% of Australians currently have a mortgage, so this does apply to quite a few of you out there. But if we look at it, essentially what's happening is you've got your two partners over on the left and the right. They might have a spending account each. They might have a credit card account each that's going into a joint account, which is linked to the home loan. This seems like a pretty typical kind of structure that's there, but we also see like a little red flag that's over there on the side. When you sit down with people and you sort of have a look at their cash flow situation, what sort of pops out at you sort of straight away that might work against them?
Firstly, when we're talking about a couple, they don't really like talking about money together. It's usually a dreaded activity, and one hand doesn't fess up to the other hand what is actually going on. So just being aware of what's happening on both sides of the table. So is your partner paying off the credit card every month? Are they accruing interest that's going to impact down the track as to what the future goals of them are? So just really having some clarity and having some finance meetings around, okay, you're really good with paperwork, you pay all the bills so they're paid on time and we're not accruing late payment fees or those type of expenses that are unnecessary.
Yeah, and I think what we're talking about here through this series is creating a safe space where people feel like they can talk about their money. So this is obviously what we would say is a typical sort of cash flow sort of scenario. Now let's bring together everything that we've kind of spoken about up until this point, which is the first thing: 86% of Australians don't understand how much they spend each month. So it's about having that kind of like that confronting confessional starting point, that baseline. Just like Kat said, we then put it into sort of a budgeting or a tracking sort of template. Are we in a deficit or a surplus? What do we then want to do to reduce our expenses, to see, do we have some extra money? Then we look at managing our debt. Is there a way that we can snowball, pay off, or sort of get rid of some of that debt through the domino effect? And then use the technology and automate things under the surface so that we don't have to think about it. So there's no friction points. Use technology to your advantage. Do you want to increase payments? Do you want to have pay splitting that's kind of going off? Do you want a salary sacrifice? Do you want to use technology to your advantage? And then, Kat, could you kind of take us through what it then looks like underneath to then set this structure up?
Yeah, the automation is key to this and getting current you, the future you life that you really want to have. So, and as I said, labeling the account so it's really transparent, that you're not just taking from the account that ends in 302, that you're actually taking from your Italy fund, or you're taking from, your Winnebago or whatever it is that you're saving for. And having the house account labelled as house account, you know exactly what's going to be coming in and out of there. The fun stuff, it's important to have some money there that, questions aren't asked. We're allowed to have a little bit of leeway there, and so that it's not all that you're missing out on what's going on in the world at the moment, but definitely having future you forefront of mind, just to make sure you're not stealing from future you.
Yeah, and I think also you sort of suggested there, we can see the little lock on you. That's where you potentially might put the vault on your account. And this is obviously an example of an option. It's not for everyone. It's just trying to show that there are lots of different ways that you can improve your financial fitness and really get on top of your cash flow.